Yes, be welcome back to another stream on the channel. It's been a while. It's been a while because obviously there was no Gameweek 6 preview due to obviously I was very busy and obviously some others were busy as well. But you know what? We don't miss no Gameweek preview. So listen, today was the only day. Well, yeah, today was the only day I was free. But yeah, we're live Gameweek 7 preview discussing. We're gonna be doing Carabao Cup recap as well. But obviously, I'm not by myself as usual for my channel. So we're gonna start getting the guests in. Let's start with Ollie. How you doing, Ollie? Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, good to see you too. Good. Big up from me on.
Yeah, big up, man. Big up, Ollie. And obviously, we've scored a goal.
Scored a goal.
So
Finally, we have a
positivity.
goal
How
a
you doing?
month.
How you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you guys doing today? It's been a while.
Good.
I'm good, man. Listen, my football club finally won. You know, played good football for once. So, yeah, man, I'm all good. I'm all good. And also, last but not least, of course, himself, artist out himself, Manny. We got two, Manny. How you doing?
All good, all good, all good. And yes, you are right. I am Arteta out because, as we're about to discuss with the preview for our trip to the seaside at Bournemouth, we could be fielding a patched up team. And, the problems are starting to crop up. And this is where Arteta will be tested. And this is going to be a watershed season for him, believe you me.
Yeah, exactly, man. 100%. Listen, Arteta, he's got some pressure, doesn't he? Because obviously with the signings he made, but let's just see where Arsenal are at. But you know what, guys, we will do some recap, some bit of a Carabao Cup recap. Why not? Who loves a Carabao Cup, eh? But listen, start off with JBT. Obviously, Chelsea finally won a football match in how many? I don't know, months, years. I don't know, but I mean, talk to me.
For me, I'm happy we won. Finally got a goal. It was questionable that whole from our side too, because I'm not gonna lie, Leslie Ugu should have been sent off for that tackle he had. But to call off Nico Jackson's second goal, which I don't know how he was offside, and even worse, Broja's offside, even though the ball came before he even crossed his own half. I don't know how that even made sense, but for me, it was a good win after after having a bad 30 minutes, even maybe a full first half. From top to bottom, we just weren't looking all that good. But then I don't know what happened second half. I don't know if Poch and Bowley gave these kids steroids or something during halftime, because from the jump we just looked great in the second half. Even for Mark Cucurella playing as a right back, I think we found a position for him if he does stay for past January, and it's I don't know, maybe we can still get him to United. I don't know, but him, whether he stays or not, right now I think we are bound to keep him with now Chilwell's injured. So add that another one to the list, and now Malo Gusto's serving his suspension time, and then who knows once Reece James comes back, how long he's going to be healthy for before he gets injured again. I'm not going to say it's going to be long, but so overall good win versus a quote unquote B side Brighton. I'm not going to be excited for this until we beat them in the Premier League to just prove that this wasn't just luck. And if for me, I'm still saying that the bleak times are ahead of us, especially after this weekend. So it's a good, a little positive before the hectic time of our calendars, for games.
Yeah, definitely. Ollie, obviously, Arsenal did win 1-0. There was a few rotations, obviously. A young stuff played for you guys in the winger. But yeah, talk to me. How was that win? And yeah,
Yeah, we scraped the win. I mean, only 1-0, but good to get the win, go through. We've got a tough game now, West Ham away in the next game, so it's going to be tough. But yeah, we played not the best team. I thought we would probably lose, but we won in the end, and Nelson got the goal. Good to see the young guys start. I think his name Sayoji or something. but no, good to see him start. Yeah, good win, I guess. Clean sheet as well for Ramsdale. And also Tomiyasu played well as well. It's good to see him playing well. But yeah, good win.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Money. Do you agree with what Ollie's saying? It's a good win. 1-0 win, was it? Was it take it and leave it situation?
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, at least we didn't lose at this particular stage, and we made it crystal clear that Arteta had to take the cup seriously this time around. So obviously he fielded a team with experienced players, and he brought a couple more experienced guys on in Odegaard and Zinchenko, who, of course, are key parts of the so-called leadership group at the club. And we started well enough. I think obviously we took advantage of their slackness in defence to open the scoring, and we probably should have had some more. Emil Smith-Rowe will obviously be kicking himself for not scoring, but I thought he was outstanding on his 100th game for the Gunners, and I definitely want to see him play a lot more minutes this season. I know Ollie will agree with me on this because he was criminally only given about 3 or 4 minutes in the North London derby, and it reminded me of when Gareth Southgate brought Jackie Grealish on against France with barely a minute or even seconds to go in the quarterfinal. I was thinking to myself, you absolute numpty, for want of a better word. How could you do that? And I was saying the same thing about Arteta. How dare you treat ESR that way when you know how capable he is? I get that he's trying to be overprotective with certain players who've been injured or what have you, but ESR has shown that he should be able to contribute a little bit more, and I want to see him play a role against Bournemouth, especially if, as I'll mention later, we might not exactly be fielding our full-strength team. But what was worrying is that in the second half, we did allow Brentford to come back at us. We knew they probably would because they were playing on their home turf. I will definitely credit Ramsdale for making 2 excellent saves to keep us in it. But one thing which I probably didn't like was how immediately after making that save from, I believe it was, it might have been in Mbeumo, I think, where he turned it onto the post and it went away. It wasn't really fully clear, but then he turned around to the Brentford fans and started giving it back at them. Son, you've got to do to keep your focus, do your job, and then give it to them at the end of the game. You don't indulge in that sort of behaviour. And sometimes he is a decent lad and a decent goalkeeper. And I know that Ollie has a really soft spot for him. And I am glad that you haven't taken down your page yet, because he will still get some games this season for Arsenal at least. But he does need to improve his concentration, son. He really does. And as far as the other players are concerned, Tomiyasu, big up to him. Had an excellent game, and I definitely would like to see him strongly competing with Ben White to play at right back a lot more often. I despise the idea of having a right-footed guy playing left back, which is why, JPT, the very idea of Marc Cucurella playing at right back is something that doesn't sit well with me at all, and that was why I was shaking my head when you said you found his position, at least for now, for your team. But again, we're still going to have to, struggle a little bit with regards to the midfield, especially if Rice may not be available. It was good to get the win, but it wasn't really the best performance in the second half. And we're going to have to really, really improve when we go to play against West Ham in the next stage of the tournament. And, of course, when we go down to Bournemouth to play tomorrow.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Obviously, United won 3-0 against Palace. For me, listen, hopefully we continue with the same performance tomorrow. But listen, I can't complain. We won 3-0. Palace, I don't think they played their strongest 11 if I'm looking at it. And no, it was a good game. Obviously, Amrabat debut played very good. Obviously, he had to cover the left back. Varane, listen, please, I'm begging he does not get injured, because if he gets injured, we are back to Evans and Maguire, lads. Woohoo! So, yeah, listen, I don't want to see Evans and Maguire. But, yeah, no, listen, I think we played well. Marshall with the goal. So Garnacho and Casemiro. Listen, we played well. And, obviously, Pelestri, I thought he played well as well. It was a great team performance. And that's something I haven't said at all this season. So great team performance, and hopefully we keep it up tomorrow. Because obviously Palace, they would want to actually show some fight tomorrow and get maybe some revenge. So we need to keep it up like that. And obviously, I think because looking at the injury updates, it will probably most likely be the same 11, barring Højlund for Martial and Bruno for Bruno for Hannibal. So yeah, our midfield would probably be like Casemiro, Bruno, and I'll save that for the Man United Palace game. But yeah, no, I can't complain. Good win, good 3-0 win, and obviously we got. Listen, I personally believe that the Carabao Cup draws are rigged because there's no way they give us Newcastle at home and then Chelsea get Blackburn. For me, listen, I'm not complaining about Chelsea, but the draw itself, United have had 12 home consecutive draws. Listen, I can't complain. That's good. Obviously, that's good because obviously, we're good at home. But is that a bit concerning, guys? Or am I just like overthinking it too much? Because United getting 12 home games in a row in the cup competition, isn't that a bit suspicious to you guys? I'm not sure, but yeah, something needs to be done.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I mean, I think for me, I didn't think too much about the Blackburn draw, but I just thought it was just weird that we're gonna get. There's like a lot of narratives in the draws because you got the rematch from the final last year, then you got this way. Oh no, this way. You got the Rice derby with West Ham and Arsenal coming up. I had a feeling I was like they're gonna get it's gonna be Arsenal West Ham. I bet you, and then it just seems like these narratives are just kind of there for that because I don't know it could be all luck, who knows, but these things do come up which it is weird to get. You said 12 home straight draws for United.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think at that point you just gotta be like, even as a gambling man, you would be like, it's okay, maybe next round United gonna get drawn a home game, but who knows.
Yeah, who knows? But nah, Ollie, what do you think? Do you think there's something suspicious going on with the draws, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's just luck. I don't think there's anything suspicious about it. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's dig into the Premier League now. So we're gonna go order of the games. We got 12:30 lunchtime kickoff. Aston Villa versus Brighton. This is a good game, guys. Not sure, but this is a very, very good game. Obviously, Villa got knocked out against Burnley. For me, wow, I was shocked to see that. But see, Villa got knocked out in the Carabao Cup early stages. Is that a good sign? I'm not sure because obviously they got not Europa League, sorry, the other league. So yeah, it's hard to predict, man. JBT, what do you reckon is going to happen in this game?
This is a really good match. I mean, now that let me see, you said Villa lost to who?
They lost to Burnley at home.
Everton.
Sorry, Everton.
That's right. Because it was for me. So it looks like they're both going to try to come up to redeem themselves from losses. With Brian respectively to Chelsea, and as you mentioned with Villa to Everton. For me, I don't really have much to say for this game. Just excited to see it, but it is key to note that at least Premier League wise, I don't think that that Brian have been able to take points away from Villa since 2021 February, which came to a draw at the Amex. So maybe it's going to continue with the streak for Villa's luck and they come up from the win. But this is also a Brian side that looks better than ever. I don't think they're missing anyone in injuries or suspensions. If so, then so be it. I would imagine Brian coming off with the win. It's tough. I mean, I'll keep it safe and just say I'm expecting for like a high scoring. I would say 3-3.
Oh, interesting. 3-3 high scoring game. Ollie, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, good game. As JPT said, two decent sides. I don't know why, but I'm going towards Brighton. I think Aston Villa can probably get a home win, but I think Brighton can probably get the win in this game. Yeah, Villa are at home though, so you never know. But I don't know. I fancy Brighton in this game. Obviously 12:30 kickoff. Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 Brighton.
Yeah, I think Horace Wi-Fi seems to be playing up a little bit, and he's on mute. So I was just hosting the preview show on Hannah's channel, and I've gone for a 2-1 Villa win. Villa obviously are going to want to recover from that shock home loss. And their first team is quite outstanding. And of course, they beat Brighton 3-0 in the corresponding fixture last season, en route to securing 7th place and Conference League football. When at one point, of course, under Steven Gerrard, they looked to be doomed to relegation and a relegation dogfight. And Brighton, of course, have played some good football, but they have shown that they are prone to lapses in concentration defensively, and they can certainly be beaten. And I think Villa certainly seem to have the edge over Brighton in many ways, especially when you consider that they are playing on their home turf. I can't go beyond a Villa win, and I do think that they will end up edging it 2-1. I wasn't predicting a clean sheet for Emi Martinez against Chelsea. I'm not predicting one over here, but I wouldn't be surprised if he continues his excellent form and ends up getting another one. Best goalkeeper in the world for me, and certainly a lot better than Verbruggen for Brighton. If they play Luke Steele at Leicester, they might have a chance, perhaps. 2-1 to Villa. And if I'm sure that Bailey Francis, Villa TV, will agree with me that if we never see John McGinn playing left back again, it will be too soon. The man's a right-sided midfielder, for crying out loud.
Was there a reason why they did that?
Emery wanted to rest Luca Digne. Alex Moreno is still not quite fit. They also lost Tyrone Mings in the first game of the season, which is essentially half their defence. You'd think that they would have looked to have bought Kieran Tierney when they had the chance, especially when there was talk about letting Digne go anyway. They're going to have to really do some good work in the transfer market, and at least we can trust that they'll do some better work than Arteta and Edu.
Yeah. For me, for this match, I'm going to go with Villa to win. And I think it's going to be 3-2 Villa. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, as CJ said, but I think it's going to be 3-2. Some madness could go on, like maybe Brighton are 2-0 up, but then Aston Villa turn up, maybe 3-2, something like that. But it's gonna be hopefully a good game and a crazy game. But no, listen, this game is definitely one game to watch out. So yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow in that game. Next one is Bournemouth versus Arsenal, and obviously some updates that apparently, correct me if I'm wrong, to our Arsenal fans, apparently Saliba is injured.
Oh no!
What Saliba now?
Apparently Declan Rice got a back injury, so I think you guys already saw that. But
yep,
yeah, Saliba's injured apparently. So yeah, which goes to Kivior and Gabriel. So Ollie, talk to me about this game. Obviously with the injury updates, I just told you. So there's no well, I think I just said that Saliba's injured. No Rice, I think. Yeah, no Rice because he's injured as well. Saka is apparently doubtful as well. So I don't know, mate. Oliver, talk to me.
Yeah, it's going to be. I don't know. You on paper it will be an easy game, but I think it's going to be a tough game away from home. I mean, obviously, if you said Saliba's injured, we got Rice injured, Trossard's injured. Even though Trossard doesn't really play as much. You got
Martinelli's too, isn't he?
Yeah, Martinelli's injured, Rice. So we've got a long injury list, and it's going to be interesting to see the lineup. But I do think we can get a win. We need to get the winning form back on. I think the draw against Tottenham was a bit frustrating, and obviously we drew to Fulham earlier on in the season as well. So we do need to pick up form and start winning games. Because obviously we're 4 points behind Man City now, so we need to get the wins and the ball. But for this game, I don't know, it could be a clean sheet, maybe 2-0 Arsenal, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, 2-0 Arsenal, 2-0 Arsenal. Fair enough. Manny, what about you? What do you think? Obviously, with the injury updates, are you concerned?
Yeah, well, I'm actually on Twitter right now, and I can tell you that although Saliba does have a slight knock on his foot, he has travelled with the squad to Bournemouth tonight, so he will be staying with the team over on the southeast coast. Whether or not he will play will remain to be seen. Of course, last time we played at Dean Court, he did score an outstanding goal, and Martin Odegaard had a couple after that. I believe it was on either side of the worldie, if I'm not wrong. But if he doesn't play, then it could certainly be a big concern. The prospect of Gabriel Magalhaes and potentially Jakub Kivior starting will not fill me with much confidence. We had Ben White, I believe, playing alongside Gabriel at times. White seemed to be interchanging a lot with Tomiyasu. And the worst parts of it all is that I don't know if Declan Rice or Bukayo Saka will be okay because neither of them trained today. If they do pass a late fitness test and they go on to start, then, hallelujah, all might be well. But the worst part is that now we're coming to the stage where one bad move can see players end up getting injured for a longer period of time. If Trossard doesn't recover for this, then we could have a potential problem down the left side. I do not want to see Kai Havertz starting as a left winger any more than I want to see him starting in the midfield. He's so far been absolutely useless, and I haven't really been enamored by him. Could we perhaps see the second coming of Emile Smith-Rowe? Make it so, dear Lord. Make it so. But I'm still going to be confident enough to predict a 2-1 Arsenal win, so hopefully that'll make Ollie happy. That's only because Bournemouth haven't really had the best of starts themselves this season because several of their players are trying to find their feet, and they've also had a pretty tough, run to start with. They've also had their own injury problems with the likes of Tyler Adams, the Leeds acquisition, not being able to be fit in time. But once they do get going under Andoni Iraola, who, as a wonderful subplot, played with Mikel Arteta in the same youth team back in their area of Spain, and went on to enjoy contrasting careers. Iraola, of course, was a long-time legend of Athletic Bilbao and was capped about a dozen or so times by the Spanish national team. Arteta was never capped by Spain, but did play for some really good clubs in Europe, like Paris Saint-Germain and Rangers and Everton, of course, before coming to the Arsenal. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of tactics they will apply, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Iraola's 4-2-3-1 fares against our likely 4-3-3. I despise the 4-3-3 because it means that we're changing from our own 4-2-3-1, which saw us really, really turn on the style in the first half of the last season. And if Bournemouth get their defence in order, then they could be a problem. But we've got more big game experience. We've got, obviously, players who know how to fight and know how to win. And I think Bournemouth are just going to be overawed by the occasion. They're not going to lose 3-0 like they did last year, but I just don't see them picking up a win. But I wouldn't be surprised in some ways if they do nick a point off us, because they made us look very ordinary when they came to play on our turf last season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. So let's get score predictions in. So, JBT, what are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm agree with Manny on this one too. That I do see that it's just going to be an Arsenal win. It's not like if they are going to win, it's just by how much. Even with from what I've been hearing from your fan base, relatively subpar performance from what you guys were expecting. But this one, even without Saka, Martinelli, Trossard, the defense, as long as you have, and if they remain fit and uninjured throughout the game, the back four of possibly Tomiyasu, White, Kiwior, and Gabriel should be fine. Just as long as Kai Havertz doesn't touch the pitch, you guys should win. And I'm going to say 3-0.
Yeah. Ollie?
Yeah, I said 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0. And Manny, I think you said 2-0 as well, I think.
2-1.
2-1. So no clean sheet. Yeah, that's... Well, I'm not interested, but I could see that happening because Bournemouth, I think for me, they should have got something out of the Chelsea game, in my opinion. But I think Bournemouth played pretty well. But now listen, let's see how Bournemouth set up. If Arsenal injuries will cause them problems. So yeah. But now let's go for the comments. Noah's a bit up to Noah, I'm gonna check your Instagram. I'm gonna send you the link, but bit up to you, Noah. But yeah, cool. I'm gonna say for this one 2-1 Arsenal as well. 2-1 Arsenal, right? Next game, Everton versus Luton. I think for me, I'm just a bit straight and simple. I think it's gonna be 3-0 Everton for me. JBT.
Yeah, I probably if any, I would say 2-0. Just Luton's just going to do everything they can to just get further away from this relegation battle. Luton just, thank you for coming to the Premier League, but it just seems like they're bound to just go back down after one season. And not with Sean Dyche at the helm that Everton's going to drop anything. So yeah, 2-0 for a win.
2-0, fair enough. Ollie.
Yeah, I think Luton won't get anything out of this game. They might score, you never know. But maybe 3-1. I think maybe Morris will score for Luton.
Yeah. What was that, Ollie? Say that again.
3-1 3-1 Everton.
3-1 Everton. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And Manny, yourself?
2-0 to Everton. I think Everton have started to turn the corner with their wins over Brentford and Villa in the League Cup, and all they needed was goals, and now they seem to have gotten them back through Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So Luton will be put to the sword. I don't see them scoring. 2-0, easy.
2-0, cool, fair enough. And yeah, I said Everton, but Everton have to win this game. They cannot draw and lose, or else they'll be disappointed with draw. 100%. Next game, it is Man United versus Palace. We played them twice. For me, I should expect us to beat them twice. So hopefully this will be the second game that we beat them. But no, obviously injuries-wise, Martinez is out for 2 months. Huge concern, but I can't do nothing about it. So I said to this, I said on my stream during the summer that we must have centre back. But the fan base on the giddy hype train with Jody Evans, which for me, I just don't understand. Because, like I said, I'm going to explain it again. Johnny Evans was given a 1-year extension deal because his wife works for METV. So that's part of the main story. Because Johnny Evans' wife works for Man United TV. There's a deal between there. And Johnny Evans got a 1-year contract. And a stupid chant that we sing for him. Listen, people can tweet that chant, sing that chant, but listen, for me, I think it's a disgrace that we've kept Johnny Evans, for 1-year extension. I don't know, because we was meant to sign the likes of Kim Min-jae and, to Debo, but we went from those two to Johnny Evans on one. For me, it's about the standards. Yes, Johnny Evans was Man United before and this and that, but you don't see no clubs doing sentimental FC, do you? City don't do this with their players before, so I just don't get it. But for me, listen, I'm gonna go with a 2-0 United win. I could see Højlund scoring, and I could also see Pellistri scoring. So yeah, I'm gonna go with 2-0 United. I think it should be comfortable like Tuesday, and hopefully nice, good win. I'm gonna go to Ollie. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you should be winning this game. Maybe Palace wants some revenge though after the win, but what did I say? I think I said 2-0 Man United in this game. I think you'll keep a clean sheet. I don't think Palace will score. And obviously good win for you in the Carabao Cup against them. And you'll look to, win again. So probably 2-0 Man United.
2-0 United. JBT, what are you saying?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be anything different from the match from earlier from last week, a couple days ago. So yeah, I'm gonna say 2-0 United as well. I mean, now that you guys have Amrabat, I think that United are gonna go back to what they were looking like from last season. You guys are really missing him and from your squad from the start. He should have joined earlier. I'm just kind of interested to see what Anthony's return is going to do to the locker room or to the tactics for Eric Ten Hag. I do like Pellistri to start, and I do rate the kid. But I think it would say a lot if Anthony just goes right back into starting lineup, and not for the right reasons. So, but other than that, and I think with Roy Hodgson still, I think he's still not with the team right now. I think he's like going through under medical care. I'm not sure if he's returned from that. But yeah, I don't really see Palace scoring. I don't think they're going to cause any issues. And you know how United's home record is, and it took Brighton and from a couple of games ago to break the streak. So yeah, I think the streak will then be renewed with this game.
Yeah, 100%. Manny, what about you? What do you think about this game? Can United get 2 wins out of 2 against Palace?
Oh, they will get 2 wins out of 2, but the second one won't be a clean sheet. I think there will be a few changes made to the Palace side, and they will be determined to put right the wrong of conceding. Of not being able to score. Very unfortunate what happened to Dean Henderson. I do hope he makes a full recovery. That is not the way I would have imagined his return to Old Trafford, unfolding. And look, you can't really overlook the threat of Eberechi Eze, Michael Elise, and company. I just don't know if they will necessarily have the support that they need. And without Zaha, they might be starting to look a little bit, toothless or even dry up front. But they should be able to score because there will still be some worries about the defence as far as United are concerned. And it should be a 2-1 win for United for me.
Yeah, 100% 2-1 United. I'm hoping for the same amount of performance as we did against Palace in the Carabao Cup. Same performance, same, fight. And yeah, I just want to see goals, man. Clinical chances. I want us to be clinical and stuff. So yeah. See, Amrabat, I think I already mentioned before, he will be playing left back, covering Reguilon, because Reguilon is also injured as well. So.
Oh wow.
This is what it is. Be up to you, man. Be up to you, Rory. Be up to you.
Is Amrabat a left back?
He can play left back here, but he's usually a midfielder. But yeah, he played left back in the Carabao Cup game, so most likely again. Which for me, I don't prefer. Listen, apparently these tacticals, the system changes when Amrabat's starting. I don't mind that, but I prefer him in the midfield. Him and Casemiro, him protecting Casemiro, letting Casemiro to advance. But listen, we shall see tomorrow. But what I'm saying, it is difficult if it will be, like a Eze versus Amrabat. So, listen, it's up to Ten Hag really, but yeah, because if he's going to go with Amrabat left back, I think the midfield through most likely be Casemiro, Mount, and Bruno. So, yeah, we're back to the unbalanced midfield. But don't worry, United fans say Mount gives us the energy in midfield. He gives the high press. Listen,
who says that?
Huh? Listen, I see some fans on Twitter saying the high press energy he gives to United, the energy, he loves the club, he loves this and that. Listen, that's absolute nonsense, right? For me, I do not have a one player love at the club. I don't have that. If you're playing bad, you get called out. If you play good, you get the rewards, you get the praise when you're deserved. But however, I do not hide. So I come out. Mount plays bad tomorrow. Yeah, let's call that. But listen, Mount in the Carabao Cup game, I think he was decent, because I know he started. He was actually right, but he didn't play that bad. I know I'm not a massive Mason Mount fan, but you know what? He didn't disappoint me, so I wanted to keep it up. Listen, I do not want a player to never fail at the club. I want them to do good, obviously, but when you play bad, it is kind of annoying. And when your own club signs a player that you didn't want, that is kind of annoying. But obviously, I have to back it. But listen, there's no backing for Mason Mount. He's already been at this league anyways. So, yeah. But no, I'm hoping for a good win. But I know I got natural, but it will most likely start Rashford, which I don't agree with. Obviously, I don't know if you guys seen him, but he's had to deal with a new van because obviously he had a car crash, so he's had to do. I think he's got a personal driver now, so yeah. But no, listen, I'm glad that everything's okay with Rashford though, so that's good to hear. But yeah, so Bruno's coming back. Obviously, Bruno had a full 90-minute rest. He didn't come on 1 minute. That surprised me, but full 90-minute rest. So hopefully a good one from United. But yeah, we move on to the next game, Newcastle versus Burnley. You know what? I'm not even going to disrespect. I'm going to say 5-0 Newcastle, you know. I really do. Like, could be 5. But Burnley, yeah, I've not been impressed by Listen, I've always said Company needs to change up the system, man, because he still thinks it's the championship for me. So Newcastle are going to win this, man. It's going to be high score line. I know Harvey Barnes is out until the New Year's, which is absolutely disappointing because I rate Harvey Barnes, so that is kind of disappointing. But nah, it could be a high score line for me. So yeah, 5-0 for me. JBC.
Man, there's a lot of interest happening in the Premier League already. It's to be honest, like I mean, I do see Newcastle winning. It's just I don't think it's gonna be as convincing as that, you know, because Newcastle for me, to be honest, have not been looking all that impressive. You know, you take away the Sheffield United win, which wow, 8 goals. I think they scored more goals than Chelsea did in just that one game alone. And but for the rest of the season, I mean, they fumbled versus Liverpool when they were up 1-0, and they scraped a win versus Brentford on a penalty kick. Failed to capitalize versus Milan in the Champions League, and they pulled off a miracle win. I would say a miracle win versus Newcastle. I mean, they were without Holland, I believe. They didn't even the bench. Yeah, I think for this one, you're right. Company does need to switch some things up. Burnley's, I think some of us predicted that they would probably stay in the Premier League by the end of the season. But they just haven't been looking all too good neither, and I think the Wolves are going to continue. And I'm going to say 2-0 Newcastle.
2-0 Newcastle, yeah. Interesting. Ollie, what about you? Do you see this game being a high scoring line?
Yeah, I think it will be. Obviously they won 8-0 against Sheffield United, an amazing result. Didn't expect that, but I don't think they'll score as many. Maybe I think maybe 4-0. I think I said. Yeah, 4-0 Newcastle. Don't think Burnley will score. Yeah, 4-0 Newcastle.
Yeah, 4-0 Newcastle. Manny, do you see this game being a high score line as well?
Look, there will be goals, but it won't be as high scoring. And I think Company's really going to have to do a great deal of homework to try and counter the threat of Isak and company. It's no coincidence, really, that with Isak coming back into the team, they really look a dangerous unit up front. And of course, Isak was, of course, a big part in that huge win over Aston Villa on the opening day. And also, he will have. I don't remember if he played any part in the 8-0 win, but when they get cooking, they really get cooking. But Burnley are going to have to, shape up defensively. Otherwise, it could be a really long day. Burnley will still lose, but I'm going for a 3-0 Newcastle win, as is Noah, because A, I go conservative, and B, I don't think Newcastle are going to be that good to repeat that sort of score line for 2 games in a row. But big up to them for beating Manchester City, mind you. They show that the citizens can be beaten, and it's going to be up to other teams to try and find a way to frustrate them.
100%. But yeah, I'm still backing my 5-0 thing. Noah says 3-0 Newcastle. Yeah, fair enough. 3-0, 4-0. But guys, what on earth, like, Company? What do you guys think is doing wrong? Because I think for me, the system, he still thinks it's the championship for me. So I'm not too sure what Company is doing, to be fair. So would anyone like to add a comment about Company?
I mean, I don't think we could be wrong, but go ahead, Manny. Sorry.
No, if you want to say something, you can go ahead. I mean, I can wait, JPC.
Oh, no. Go ahead. I have nothing to say.
Yeah, I just think that, when it comes to Company, he's now finding as he would have known already that there is a huge difference between, the Championship and Premiership in terms of the levels that are involved. And I definitely think that he's now going to have to start working to, to sort of try and help bridge that gap in between his team and the other teams in the Premiership. Otherwise, it could be a very long season for him. He will need to make a few changes to his starting lineup. It goes without saying, but it's a difficult gap when you're between the Championship and the Premiership, and he's finding that out now.
Yeah, exactly, 100%, 100%. But yeah, let's move on because obviously we all back Newcastle to win this. But we do have a question from Noah. Guys, do you agree that Newcastle are struggling? I don't think they're struggling, to be fair. I think that's a bit harsh, but listen, I think Eddie Howe will sort that out for me. So yeah, I don't think they are struggling, to be fair. Tonali, who's new to the league as well. So West Ham versus Sheffield. There's obviously one side winning this for me, in my opinion, and that is West Ham. Listen, I don't know how that Sheffield United manager is still there, by the way. So yeah, after losing, yeah, that is the craziest score then. But yeah, I'm gonna go with a 3-0 West Ham. For me, 3-0 West Ham. I think Joe Bowen will be on the score sheet. So yeah, I think it'll be a comfortable win. GBT.
Yeah, this is just an easy win for West Ham. I mean, it's too early for them to be called for relegation, but I think it's going to be another team that's just going to go back down at the end of the season. I mean, I know with West Ham too. I think their last Premier League game was it against City, where it was a 3-1 loss. Which they can argue that that was a tough loss because they looked like they were holding strong until like maybe the last 10 minutes. And yes, Sheffield as well. I know they were probably looking for some type of points versus, or even a win versus Spurs, but with the comeback and the added time, it's just looked like it's just gonna be more woes for Sheffield. And for this one, I'm going with 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0. Ollie, what about you?
Yeah, it should be an easy win for West Ham against Sheffield United. Sheffield United just lost 8-0. Not a very good team.
Is it 9 or 8?
8.
It was 8.
Oh, 8. Sorry, yeah, 8. Yeah, 8. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, so for me, I don't think Sheffield United will score. I think it'll be a clean sheet for West Ham, Areola. So for me, I'll go 2-0 West Ham. Yeah.
2-0 West Ham. Fair enough. And Manny, what you would think about the West Ham versus Sheffield United game?
3-1 to the Hammers. I think Sheffield will try and put in a better performance, and maybe they could score. They're certainly not going to win, but at least they're going to try to get some pride out of this game.
100%. Now they're going for 5-0 West Ham. James Ward-Prowse scored 3 against Sheffield United. Wow. But yeah, next game it is Wolves Man City. Clearly again one side to this, but I'm just gonna keep it short, sweet, and simple. 2-0 Man City. JBT.
Oof, this one should be just like you said, one-sided. But I'm gonna say even 4-0. I mean, Wolves. How did you go up with 2-goal lead versus Ipswich in the Carabao Cup? It's just when the team when they finally start scoring goals, they just can't hold on to the lead. It's this team it's gonna have more problems, and City's not gonna help out with this as well. So Holland, fresh, to play and start for this game. I think he's even gonna bag a hat trick.
Wow, hat trick Holland. Ollie, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, nothing but City winning this game. As much as I would love them to drop points, I don't think they ever will. They're going to win most of their games, I think. For me, I'll go 4-0 maybe. I think they'll keep it clean. Maybe it got actually 4-1 maybe. I don't know, 4-1. But yeah, Man City will win this game. Haaland will probably score a hat trick. I don't know. Yeah, 4-1 maybe.
Yeah, Holland hat trick. Listen, guys, if you haven't been in the FPL, I've got. To be fair, to be honest, I've got Hoyland and Holland. So hopefully, both of them score some goals tomorrow, please. Right, comments. 3-1 Man City says Noah, and my guy Rocco says, "Big up you, big up to you, Rocco." But yeah. Money, Wolves, Man City. Do you see Haaland scoring a hat trick? Do you see Haaland scoring some goals?
Haaland should score 2 and then be hooked off, and 2 other guys will score 1 each. So 4-1 Manchester City. I think Wolves will score. City's defense can be a little bit porous, but no respite from City. They've definitely got bigger fish to fry, and they're in a position where they can say that.
Yeah, they've got bigger fish, exactly, man. No, that's what the Arsenal fans. Come on, you guys got bigger fish to fry. Even if you lose the Carabao Cup, bigger fish. Like, come on, guys. You got the Champions League. UCL Knights under Arteta. That's what I see. So yeah, cool. Listen, yeah, Haaland. Obviously, he didn't play against Newcastle, so he's probably gonna want to score a lot of goals. But yeah, which is good for my FPL. So yeah, but no, listen. FPL side, hopefully Wolves, come on. Like, obviously, on the Gary O'Neill, like, show a bit of something, because they can, as you said, they can score goals, but they can't hang on, like, I don't know. So, yeah. Let's see how it goes, but yeah. But cool. Next game. Tottenham versus Liverpool. Wow. Listen, Tottenham obviously 2-2 against Arsenal. They beat us. I think was it 3-1 or 2? I'm not sure. I've forgotten his ways, but yeah. No, listen, Tottenham. They are cooking on the Ange, man. They are cooking. So, but this is a big game. Obviously, for me, the game decides the midfield. The midfield decides who's going to win, because Tottenham's midfield, obviously, I think for me, Basuma, he was outstanding in Emirates, man. He bossed that midfield for me. He showed Declan Rice levels. So for me, this is a tight game, man, because obviously it will be Basuma and the other midfielder versus Gravenberch, McAllister, and Spurs. So I'm gonna say Spurs to win this, and it's gonna be tight, very, very tight. I'm gonna say 2-1 Spurs. So yeah, I'm saying 2-1 Spurs for me. I think Son's gonna score. I think Madison's gonna score as well. So yeah, JPT.
Yeah, this is such an exciting game. I didn't. If you asked me before the season started, this was probably the game I was like, yeah, it's probably going to be something for like Europa spots, because I didn't think Angelo was going to take this effect or this type of effect this quickly, and also with Liverpool with the midfield changes they've done, especially with Dominic being added. I mean, I don't know if you happen to see. I think it was a goal versus Leicester City. My goodness, this kid is something else. But if here's the thing, if Spurs take a goal lead early on, it's almost like a trigger to think that Liverpool's going to come back and win 3-1. That's what we've been doing for I think the last 4 matches. And with this one, Angeball is just off and running. They're doing well. Basuma, wow, where did this guy come from? And I think with Charleston is gaining new life and new confidence, which I think this is the type of player that they were. That they're seeing from when they first bought him. He was missing all last season with under Conte, but this one I think is going to come down. Well, you said midfield, which yes, I would completely agree, but I also think how Klopp will be managing the game. because he does recognize any changes that do need to be done. Not saying Ange doesn't, but the Klopp effect too from there. And I want to say that Spurs should win this game, but I'm going to keep it safe and just say 2-2. It's too tough to call a winner for this one.
No, yeah, 100%. This is a tough game, man. Very tough game. Ollie, how do you see this game going?
Yeah, I agree with GPT. I think it'll be a draw. It's quite hard to see who's going to win this game. So I'll go 1-1. Although Tottenham could lose this game, I think Liverpool can go on and win. But I just don't see anyone winning, so I'm going to go for a draw in this game. So yeah, 1-1. Be a good game though. Obviously Tottenham just got a point off of us, and yeah, I'll go 1-1.
1-0, fair enough. And Manny,
Yeah.
yourself?
2-1 to Liverpool. I think Liverpool are starting to really turn the corner and really, displayed good powers of recovery. Last season, obviously, was a big disappointment, and I think their players and manager know that well, and they've made some good strides to setting that right. And I think, as well as Tottenham have played, I still think that Spurs, being Spurs, they're going to have a bit of a weak centre. Their defence is still not necessarily well sorted, especially if Cristiano Romero's performance was anything to go by in the North London derby. So it will be a tight game. Obviously, the midfield battle will certainly be one to savour, but I just think Liverpool should have enough to eke out a win. 2-1.
2-1, fair enough. This could be a great game to watch. So this is one game to watch. This is definitely one game to watch because they're both undefeated. So one team is either going to draw, or one team is either going to beat that undefeated record or unbeaten record. Sorry. So yeah, should be interesting. Next game, we've got 2 games left. Forest versus Brentford. I mean, Brentford obviously have been out in the Carabao Cup to Arsenal, and obviously I think they did lose in the Premier League as well. So yeah, they're looking to fight for something back. Forest. I mean, if you check the table now with Forest, we're going to Forest. They're sat in 12th above Chelsea. But nah, listen, I think Brentford are going to win this. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Brentford for me. 2-1 Brentford, yeah, 2-1 Brentford. But no, this is going to be a big game because obviously Forest at home, they've got the fans with them, and it's pretty electric. So if Brentford can handle that, and if they can, they could definitely win this game. So yeah, 2-1 Brentford for me. JBT.
This is going to actually be a good game to watch. I mean, it's I want to take it for slightly for this one tier, just because I mean they do have a good side, and at home you never know, and you also got to keep in mind that I think Brentford are going to be they're going to have some fullback problems because I think Rico Henry's out for the season. I think he had like an ACL tear, so they're going to be putting 21-year-old Aaron Hickey as left back. This is something that and I always mess up his name, Taiwo Awoni. I can never pronounce his name, but also Morgan Gibbs.
Awoni.
And also Morgan Gibbs White looking to expose. But Forest, they do have a good home record. I think they've only lost 2 of the last 17 Premier League games. While Brentford, I think right now are currently on a 4-game winless streak. So this is going to be interesting to see, but I'm predicting a 1-1 draw.
Yep. Ollie, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, I think I like Forest. I think they'll probably go on and win this game 2-1. I think they're at home. I don't know. I kind of agree with the 1-0. I was going to say 1-0, but I want to change my prediction to 2-1 Forest. I think I don't know. I think they'll win this. Although Brentford are a good team, they could go on and win the game. They've got Wieser. But I'm not really impressed with their goalkeeper, Mark Flecken. I don't think the Brentford fans like him. They probably want Raya back. Yeah. But I don't know. It's a tough game to predict. I might go 2-1 for us.
Interesting. 2-1 Forest. Manny, what about you? What do you think?
I'm actually going for wait a minute, I think I did my prediction. Yeah, I'm going for a 1-1 draw between both Brentford and Forest because I was doing my preview with Mr. B on Hanno's channel, and Mr. B was telling me that without Ivan Toney, the goals have started to dry up a little bit. And even if Forest do have a decent home record, they've started to become a little bit predictable, and they're still a very disjointed team in many ways, despite the acquisition of Gonzalo Montiel and Ibrahim Sangare, who could have been, if they had any sense, playing in the Champions League against us this season. But I really don't have high hopes for Forest this season. I think they will, struggle to really impress, even if they do manage to avoid relegation and finish comfortably in mid-table. It won't really be out of the merit of their performances necessarily. Because the way they play is simple. Just feed Taiwo and and he will score. And without Brennan Johnson, I don't know if they're going to have enough dynamism to really take the team forward. But Brentford are also struggling for goals, so I wouldn't mind this. I wouldn't be surprised if this one ends in a 1-1 draw, especially when you consider that Forest were very lucky in many ways to scrape a 1-1 draw against Burnley. And yeah, this might not really be a game for the footballing purists, and I think it'll end up being a draw. I can't really predict that either team will win.
Yeah, 100%, man. As I said, this could be a big game and very, very hard to predict. So, yeah, like I said, if Brentford can handle the atmosphere, they can get stuff from this game. So, but no, I think Brentford. Brentford. I think they can. I think their target this season should be, minimum top 10. At least try and get those top 10, maybe top 9. So let's see from Brentford. Obviously, Ivan Toney that he's looking likely to leave now in January. Might go to Arsenal, Chelsea. Those two clubs are exploring the situation. So
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Tottenham and Tottenham hijack the deal at our expense. They did it with Basuma.
For which player?
Ivan Toney.
Basuma.
I mean like Tony. If they didn't get Brennan Johnson, I would expect Tony to go to Spurs as well. But if right now I know with Arsenal it's Tony, and just like Chelsea, it's gonna be Tony or Osimhen, which if you guys want to spend 150, go ahead. But if not, if I were you guys, try to sign Ivan Toney like as soon as January comes around.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, we've all put our predictions in, and the last game it is Fulham versus Chelsea. This is a bit of South London derby, because Fulham and Chelsea they're quite close to each other. So JPT,
West London derby.
West London. Yeah, West London. South is Palace. I keep forgetting. But JPT, talk to me. How are you feeling?
Oof. Well, now that Chilwell's back on the injury list, the squad just looks, despite all the signs we have, thin with the injuries. Good news is that Carney Chukwuemeka is coming back from injury. I don't know if he should be starting right away, but and also Noni's coming back to be possibly in the lineup. Why he wasn't included in the Brighton game, I have no idea. But that was Poch's decision. But now this is going to be the game that Nico Jackson's going to be missing from his 5 yellow card suspension. Malo Gusto serving his first game for his 3-game suspension. It's going to be interesting to see what to expect in the lineup. I mean, at this point, as much as I don't like Levi Colwill playing as left back, he should be playing as left center back as God intended. And seeing Mark Cucurella as a right back, as we said, Reece James is still out, Gusto on suspension. We might have to do this. If not, we're going to have to take Caicedo and put him as right back. I don't want to do that because that's just going to leave a pivot of Enzo Gallagher. No, thank you. It's if we can find just even a way to go back to scoring, hopefully this Brighton game provides some type of confidence for the kids. We should come out with this as a 2-1 win. But if we're going to go back to pre-Brighton Chelsea, this could be probably the final nail in the coffin before the panic starts, even goes to deep panic. But yeah, I mean, luckily, I won't say luckily, but I know with Fulham they have some injuries as well with Tete out, Adarabioyo, and Traore's out. Adarabioyo too, I think, is under Spurs' radar unless they moved on from him. But he's a good player, and so this could be just the luck that Chelsea need to come out of this West London derby with the win, and hopefully, I think after this we go into Burnley before the chaos starts, and we go on a crazy run of fixtures. But yeah, if we can get the back of the net for at least once, I think that will probably avalanche to us going off with a 2-1 win. I don't think we're going to keep a clean sheet, especially with Robert Sanchez, the way you see him distributing the ball from the back will put us in panic.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, JP, so your recent stat has come out that he has been the most successful when it comes to long balls being, kicked. So at least that's one thing going for him.
Yeah, this is something to make up for like Kepa's flaws, I guess. So why not? But yeah, I definitely would wish that we have like a goalkeeper situation how your side has right now. Going from either. If you don't have Raya, no, we would have Rams. It's like, well, okay, you want gold or you want diamonds? Which one do you want? Like, sort of thing. But yeah, I would hope that Sanchez just gets a little bit more comfortable. I don't know why he like all those passes he was making, especially in the first half versus Brighton. Like it just seems like he was back in Brighton. I'm part of Brighton, so let me just pass it back to my teammates.
Do you think Broja will start tomorrow? Or do you think he will start Nicholas Jackson?
Well, Nico Jackson can't play. He's on suspension.
Oh, sorry, he's injured. Yeah, he's injured.
No, well, he's injured, but he's serving a 1-game suspension from the yellow card accumulation.
Okay.
But why Poch didn't take him out earlier and kept it was stupid because like you're just making his injury possibly go on for an extra game or two than it needs to. But Broja should start. But if he oh Lord, please! If he picks up any knock, any injury.
Oh, listen! If Broja starts and he gets injured, I'm going to be sorry because obviously there's international break soon, like the next 2 weeks, I think. So I need Broja to be fully fit, please. Chelsea, Pochettino, please, because if Broja's fit and is able to make the Albanian squad, we are cooking, guys. Because obviously we're already top of the group, and obviously we play Czech Republic at home, so. We need Broja, please, because we can't really play a striker. He's 33 years old, so we need Broja. So thank you very much. What's going on with Madueke? Because that's an interesting one.
Well, I'm not sure if he's like having injury issues, but they reported he was fully fine. He just didn't make it to the squad for Brighton. I'm not sure that they were just saving him for the Premier League only and just keeping him away from that. But it did. Did bring up a lot of questions on why is there a type of relationship issue with him and Poch. Same thing goes with Maatsen as well, because I really like the guy. He is a player that turned down Burnley to stay with Chelsea Pfeiffer's spot, but now Bowley just like all he sees when it comes to him and Trevo and. I forgot of another player that he's looking to sell, but just all he sees is pure profit. And it's to the point where like you have to let these guys who want to stay for the club, who want to fight for a spot, to get playing time. I'm not saying he has to start every game, but at least put him like in for like 20, 30 minutes at least, like every match. Because he's a smart player. His footballing IQ is there. He can play as a 10. He can play as a left wing. He can play as a left back, and the guy can do it all. But right now, I would rather keep him in the attack because I think he was he did play a big role for the Nicholas Jackson goal to Palmer, which Palmer another one that I'm glad that we happened to get from City, despite us overpaying. But the what I consider the fair value of 35 mil was rejected because City wanted
No, 100%. Let's get into score predictions then. JBT, what are you saying for this game?
Yeah, if we can find the net again, I'm saying 2-1, and yeah, hopefully no injuries. More importantly,
Yeah, hopefully no injuries. Ollie, what are you saying for this one?
I'm going to go 1-1.
1-0, 1-0, 1-0. And Manny?
2-1 to Chelsea. I think this could very well be the game where they turn the corner and start to, really kick on. Because from what I've been seeing, the likes of Mudrak, for instance, has started to really find his feet and sort of, really get into the swing of things. And if he continues to play and really gain a bit more in terms of confidence, we could even see him score. It's funny, JPT, how a large number of us Arsenal fans were gloating how we saved at least 70 million quid by ending up getting Trossard instead of Mudrak, and the Mudrak hasn't really had the best start to life. But it's sort of a biblical thing. You have 7 years of famine and then 7 years of feasting, as it were. And I think once Mudrak starts to really cook at Chelsea, he will start to cook. So he's a player who is still quite young, has a pretty high ceiling. I'd like to see him, really develop. And Fulham might just be the team with their own defensive issues and their relative lack of goal scoring potency to for Chelsea to exploit that. So 2-1 to Chelsea, and no clean sheet for Bernd Leno, who, interestingly enough, is the joint clean sheets leader at this stage with Edison with 3 each. So he's done well away from the Arsenal.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm gonna get. I don't know. I'm gonna go with 2-2 Chelsea. 2-2. It's gonna be an interesting one, good game. But listen, hopefully Broja doesn't get injured. That's if he starts. I reckon he might, possibly will start, or if not, he'll probably put Sterling as a false nine. I think he's done that before. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, with lineups wise, JBT, like, obviously goalkeeper, that's fine. Midfield, obviously no Gallagher, just Caicedo and Enzo, right?
well, it all depends because it Poch goes back to a back five. The lineup that I had, which is under the 4-2-3-1, which from left to right, Levi, Silva, Disasi, Correa, pivot of Enzo, Caicedo. And then the 3 attacking mids are going to be, or what I think should be, is Mudryk, Palmer, and this is where I would say Maatsen, but most likely he's going to put Sterling and then Broja up top. But that, as you said, Sterling, I wouldn't mind having him be the false 9 and have Noni on the right side. I mean, he's at 100% when it looks like. So I don't see why not do this instead of playing 2 players who just came playing from the middle of the week. I know they're pretty much going to have like a whole week off, but let Noni get some minutes.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be a good game. Mudryk hasn't been bad. He just hasn't been getting consistent game time. He is now getting that, and he is doing good, in my opinion. Washington / Alex Matters from Academy start. Broja bench. Got a dog bench, please. Listen, we don't need to see none of this Washington. Just play whoever you have, just play them. Don't just recall players from Academy, because I don't think you should be doing that. But that's up to Pochettino, not me. So yeah. But guys, we have discussed all games, and that has been it for the Gameweek 7 preview. And yeah, it's been a good one, man. It's been a good one. Hopefully, we all get the 3 points, apart from Arsenal fans. But yeah, no, listen, I'm looking forward to the weekend. I know, guys, don't worry, Gameweek 7 review will be out possibly Tuesday-ish, hopefully. But yeah, nothing's confirmed it, just have your notifications on. But as usual, we get people to shout the socials. Ollie, let them know where people can find you. Big up for joining.
Yes, you can catch me on a few other channels. If you want to catch me on my channel, it's DJ Sinclair. I need to do a stream. I'll do one hopefully next week. If you want to find me somewhere else, Instagram Ollie.Sinclair556 and TikTok is OllieZepic556. Apart from that, that's all it. Big up for rest for me on.
Yeah, big up Ollie, big up yourself. JBT, big up for joining. Where can people find you?
Yeah, my channel switched the name from At a Time podcast to Keeping It Real Chelsea. Same concept, just now it's me with a set panel with Latimus Prime, CFCOG, and DLCSC. But also, you catch me here, of course, on Horse Talks Football. I try to go on to Ollie's channel whenever I can. Wednesdays tend to be a bit of a pain for me, but I'm going to try to make myself more available, working on the schedule. But yeah, this Instagram, same name everywhere else except for Twitter. But I don't really go on Twitter. That's a cesspool for me. Anyways, but yeah, thank you for having me back on here, Horst.
Yeah, no worries, man. Big up to you. And obviously, last but not least, Manny. Where can we find you, Manny? Big up for joining, as always.
Yeah, big up for having me on, and you can find me over here on OTF, where I am a co-host of this channel, and also catch me on Del Boy Gunner TV, Coach's Corner with Hanno Trollope, Tony Claude Gunner TV, Danny AFC TV, Up the Cherries in all departments, AFC Talk Show TV, Villa TV, Eugene Spurs Asia TV, also Huddersfield Town Fan TV. I was there on a few occasions as well, and also big up to Northside LDN, on whose channel I've often made appearances, sort of as a guest more than anything else. And big up to several other channels that I can't really, think of at present, but every single channel is quite important to me. Big up as well to DJ Sinclair. I know he's got his channel going well, and JPT to your channel as well. And yeah, I mean, all I can say is that this particular month, of course, is always going to be a very special month, because it's a month which emphasizes in particular how we need to make sure we check ourselves when it comes to behavior on social media and other social paradigms, because what we say can sometimes have the potential to either hurt or heal people, and we need to make sure that we are respectful with one another. That's why I try to avoid banter, and I definitely do not want to have any kind of personal, insults on any stream at all. And we need to make sure that we agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Otherwise, there's no point in having a discussion. Let's treat each other the way we'd like ourselves to be treated. Big up to everyone in the chat who's contributed to tonight's stream, and you're the ones who also make the channel what it is. Enjoy the football and rugby on offer that's coming up this weekend. And also, we've got the Cricket World Cup to look forward to, with some warm-up games taking place. And I believe next week, in fact, will be the first game to be played. And certainly looking forward to that. Until then, take care of yourselves, enjoy your weekend, be safe, be happy, and don't do anything that Orest, Ollie, and JPT and I wouldn't do. For now, though, farewell to thee, and goodbye to each and every one of you. Cheers.
Big up, Manny, man. Big up, Manny. It's always good to see you guys here on the stream. And yeah, guys, I do apologize. Like I said in the beginning, there wasn't Game Week 6 preview. I will try my best, obviously. As you guys may know, if you guys know me, I am a coach, so I'm quite busy, especially with my new season starting this one. So I'll be very busy, but I'll try my best possible to slot in sometimes. But don't worry, guys. I assure you that there will be a Game Week 7 review for this game week. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Big up to the panel, Ollie, JBT, and Manny for joining. And yeah, big up to the comments, Noah, Rocco, Hashim, yeah, that's it.
Noah,
and obviously Rory as well, that came in the beginning, obviously Jordan as well, saw that comment. And yeah, guys, make sure you have liked the video, go subscribe to Keeping It Real Chelsea. Obviously, there's no minerals, but he's keeping it real. No minerals.
keeping it honest, no agenda.
Subscribe to DJ Sinclair as well. Always on the streams. Really, he never does previews for some reason, Ollie. So yeah, and I think he does previews. Obviously, he doesn't want to mix up with me and him. So yeah, that it makes sense. So big up to DJ Sinclair, and obviously go follow Manny on Twitter, where you see him arguing with Arsenal fans, because obviously some people may not like him being Arteta out. So it is what it is, and yeah, so that's what Twitter is all about, really, debating and stuff. But guys, We'll be back very soon. Make sure you have subscribed and smash the likes. Peace.